For the last 2 years and for more than 36 sports broadcasts, Westminster seniors Zach Hines and Kellen Gursky have been stuck with each other.
That's the second foul on Clendell.
And we've done close to 40 broadcasts with each other. So that is an achievement.
Together, they have broadcasted football, men's, and women's basketball games on the radio and on TV. They study broadcasting together, and they also cannot deny that there has been chemistry that has been developed on the air.
It's not going to click right away. The first time you work with somebody isn't going to exactly work the way you want it to, probably. I mean, if it does, then more power to you, but 9 times out of 10, it's going to take a little while to work with somebody to build that chemistry.
When you have a friend broadcasting with you, it's a lot better than just doing it with some random person.
Both will tell you the secret to their success, knowing what they will talk about. That means a lot of preparation before a game.
I think broadcasting and sports go hand in hand because it's about preparation, it's about time management, and it's quickly paced. So if you don't do those things, you're going to be in a lot of trouble.
A couple days before, I always check on who they played, what they do in their last game, who's leading in stats.
This is Gary Swanson, the man that put the dynamic duo together 2 years ago and has watched the seniors become dependable assets.
Well, first off, when I think of those two, immediately I think of the reliability that we've had. I have a confidence knowing that if they're assigned to a particular game, that it's going to be taken care of.
And Swanson tells us you cannot deny the impact that these two have had on the broadcasting program.
I think the bar that they've set creates a little bit of a challenge for those coming in, and it's a good challenge.
And there are plenty of people waiting to take their place. New sports announcers who can learn a lot from this pair of graduating seniors.
All things play out. It's been a fun ride, to say the least.
What we got going on here is really, really special, and that's pretty much all I got to say about that.
At Westminster College, I'm Charlie Borges for WCN 24/7.
Third quarter. Thale hands it this time to Robinson, not able to get anything.
Nice play. I see David Jamison, I think, right there on top of that, number 50.
For the last 4 years, David Jamison wore the number 50 for the Westminster football team. But this year, he's traded in the jersey for a whistle as a volunteer assistant coach.
What am I going to do with all my time? Because I'm always preoccupied with something. So I thought, hey, why not help out the football team and give back to some of the guys that gave so much to me.
He does admit it's a little awkward coaching players he was teammates with less than a year ago.
I love that they respect me for that, and I don't expect them to call me coach if they've been playing with me. They play with me for, whether it was 1 year or 3 years. I don't expect that, but the fact that they still do respect me as a coach, as a leader for them, it really means a lot to me.
He also says he sees similarities between himself and a few of the players.
Full circle, 100%. That's probably one of the hardest things, too, is that you repeat yourself over and over again.
If Jamison has a future in coaching, he says he's learning from one of the best.
Coach Benzel, great guy, but his just knowledge for football is through the roof.
I'm Charlie Borges for WCN 24/7.
If the national anthem plays while you guys are doing the interview, to say we're going to take a moment to honor America.
And then we're done, then we go back,
No, then start back up after the national anthem.
Westminster senior Brad Colasar worked as an intern for the National Hockey League's Pittsburgh Penguins over this past summer, but it gave him memories that will last him a lifetime.
It was a blast getting to be a part of the team through some of the filming that we did for the in-game entertainment.
And he knows that the internship could have been a whole lot shorter.
My internship could have been very short if they would have got kicked out of the playoffs, but since they won, there was parades, different events going on because they won the cup.
NHL tradition says that the players and coaches of the Stanley Cup winning team get to touch the Stanley Cup. But what about the intern?
I did get to touch the Stanley Cup. It was definitely a great opportunity.
Colasar is graduating after the fall semester with a very bright future. He hopes to get a job with the Penguins or any Pittsburgh sports team. As for his hopes for the Penguins this year, well, they're pretty high.
The Penguins, I think, definitely have a chance to three-peat.
As for repeating the internship, Brad said that he would do it again. For WCN 247, I'm Charlie Borges. Welcome back to this edition of Coach's Corner. My name is Charlie Borges. Alongside me is Coach Kevin Soroki of the men's basketball team. Coach, how you doing?
Good. Great to see you.
Good to see you as well. So I want to start off by reading a tweet from Ryan Whitnable, who's a Division III hoops reporter. He said, quote, big 7-1 start for @WC_Titans in the PAC. 7-1 with only one loss, coming to D1 Youngstown by 8. Big statement win against LaRoche. Now that you have this hot start, you're kind of starting to get a little bit national attention as a coach coming off to this hot start. What can you attribute to that hot start?
This thing, we got some experienced guys back, especially our seniors who've been through the good, the bad, and and I think the culture of winning, of losing has changed. It's changed into a culture of winning, and those guys are leading the way. Our three captains, Jared Vrabel, Deontay Scott, and Austin Armwood, who's a junior, have really impacted not only our program but also the season so far this year, and have led the younger classmen, the freshmen, and the guys coming in that show them the right way of winning. And then the winning culture is winning breeds winning.
So last night you played LaRoche. You won by 10, and it really came down to free throws at the end. I was reading through the live stats, and it kept popping up, Jared Vrabel made the free throw, Jared Vrabel made a free throw. How crucial is it towards the end of a game when it's so close like that against a solid LaRoche team? How crucial is it to stick to fundamentals and not only stick to them but execute them well, like free throws, not turning the ball over, especially comes crunch time?
Well, obviously it's huge. We didn't get off to a good start. We were down early, and the guys keep battling back and grinding, and we were fortunate enough to get back in the game and take a lead at halftime. But at the end of the game, it was very crucial, especially going against Chatham, and we had great guys on the free throw line, and Cam Kane Johnson and Jared Vrabel, and especially with Jared last night knocking the free throws down, and Cam knocking his free throws down. So I think he was 6 for 6, and then Jared was 7 for 7 from the free throw line. We missed one free throw last night. It was 16 for 17. So, at the end game situation is that, we get fouled. We got to step up the foul line and make them. And those guys have done it all year long. And, again, going against Chatham, we didn't make a couple of them. But, now we, I think we gained from that experience and knocked them down. And, that just deflates the other team as they get fouled. And we get fouled and go to the foul line and knock those in.
So with all these positives, 7-1 start, the senior leadership, what is something that you think that your team can improve upon across the board, whether it be the seniors or the younger classmen? What can your team as a whole improve upon?
Well, we just got to keep improving on our defensive end, and I think we've played a great defense. But our three points of emphasis this year is defense. That includes rebounding. We out-rebounded them last night again, which is great because they out-rebounded Marietta Monday night by 20 rebounds. They had 25 offensive rebounds. LaRoche did. So that was a big key for us last night. And then, free throws and turning the ball over. And we did all three of those pretty well last night. We only gave up 70 points, which is great. So we got to continue to keep working day by day on that. And I know the guys will. And, again, we always write sacrifice, me for we and I for us on the board at the end before the games. So I think the guys are sacrificing, for team. And that's a really good feeling.
I want to focus on a first year. Last week, you played W&J, and you beat them. I don't want to say handily, but you did fairly well for yourselves. And the play of Malik Burton was outstanding from what Kellen Gursky and I could see up at the booth. What does he bring? What is his game? And I can see he has a fire in him. He's very competitive. What do you see from the big man?
Well, he's just, he's, again, very fiery when he gets on the court. He's very soft-spoken off the court. If you walk by him on campus or anything, I know he'll say hello to you, but he's very soft-spoken. I don't know, just some light flips on when he comes on the court, and he's got to keep getting him experience. I thought he played really well last night, coming in and gave us great minutes, good quality minutes. Same with Blake Payne. Blake has been tremendous for us last night. He had seven rebounds, probably 7 points, and Lloyd Chapman also gave us great minutes last night as well off the bench. So, but Malik was just his presence of being 6'10" and not skinny. You know what I mean? He's this wide body, and he's getting better every day. And especially going against Jared and going against Deontay every day in practice, and going against Blake, that's even making him better as well. So we're excited about not only him but the rest of the guys as well who come along, especially the underclassmen are coming along great.
Going back to Blake Payne,
whenever I see him play, he kind of reminds me of Jarrett Vrabel, just the tall, lanky body, always trying to work on the glass. You see the same similarities?
A little bit, yeah. I think, Jared's a little bit more athletic, but Blake's getting there. Blake, the best thing about Blake is he put a lot of weight on over the summertime as far as muscle. And then, going against those guys in practice who probably are two of the best, big guys in the league. So going against those guys every day in practice, making him better. So when he does go against, maybe some of their subs, other team subs in the game, that he's backing them down, and like they're not as strong, or they're not as good as Deontay or Jared, during practice. So Blake he's come a long way. I'm very proud of him.
Moving forward to this weekend, you're playing Bethany at home. Last season, Bethany knocked you out of the PAC playoffs, and there was absolutely nothing that you could have done. They shot over 50% from the floor from three-point range. Was this game circled on the calendar, kind of looking at a revenge game, or is it just another one on the calendar?
It's just another one on the calendar. They've lost some tough games this year. I know they didn't start off. I think they were 1-5 at one time. Now they're 3-5 or 4-5. So they're on a 3-game winning streak, and that's in the PAC as well. So we're going to battle. It's going to be another battle for us. Every game in the PAC is going to be a battle for us. And, they're very good. Obviously, they beat us. We beat them twice during the regular season last year, and they beat us especially at home during the PSC playoffs. So it's not going to be any revenge game. They're going to come in and be ready for us, and we're going to be ready for them, and it's going to be a good battle.
After Bethany, you played Kenyon after your last non-conference game, and then after that, you played Thomas More and the rest of the PSC playoffs. Is there a difference between playing in the semester and then during the winter break, or is it kind of the same thing? We know what we have to do, and we just keep going.
Well, especially when the semester's over, that there's a lot of downtime, and so we got to try to keep the guys busy a little bit with practice, and we're the only ones on campus with swimming and women's basketball. So there's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of downtime, but it's going to be game by game. So we got to learn. We're going to try to put in new stuff over break. Now the guys have some downtime as far as not have to go into class, so they can solely concentrate on basketball, which is really great.
All right, Coach, that's going to do it for this segment. Stay tuned for Emily Sechrist and the Titantown Sports Update.